So in this video, I'm going to show you an incredibly powerful day trading strategy that works so good that I just have to tell you guys, because it uses only one trading view indicator and has a very high success rate if you apply it correctly. So I think it's enough talk and let's actually get straight to it. So the strategy is called the moving average crossover. As I said, it's super simple and well known, but the most traders are actually trading it wrong because the biggest mistake they make is jumping into position every single time the moving average crosses over. So for example, if the faster moving average goes above the slower one, they immediately buy, and if the faster moving average goes below the slower one, they sell right away like there's no tomorrow. But let me tell you, that's the worst way to trade this strategy because it only works if the market is trending. But let's say if the market is in range, you will get tons of false signals because those moving averages will be squished together. And guess what? If you would enter on every single crossover within that range without checking the bigger picture, that will wipe out your account in no time. So that's why in this video I want to show you the right and the most logical way to trade these moving averages, because I will share the exact technique that I use, and maybe we will go over some of my live trades that I placed using the strategy, because as you know, it's always useful to know and see how it works in full action. Okay, so the first step is to add the moving averages on our charts, and in this case we will be using exponential moving averages to be exact. So all you have to do right now is to open TradingView and hover your mouse to the indicators section, and inside here all you have to do is type in EMA, and this will be the moving average exponential, and click on it twice. So once it's on your chart, just go ahead into the settings of the first exponential moving average, and you have to change the default value from 9 to 20, and inside the style option you can go ahead and change the color for your liking. I always go with a bright orange. And now for the second moving average, we will have to go ahead and use the length of 50. Once again, I always go with the white line just because it's just clearer and nice to look at. Okay, so moving on, since we are focusing on day trading, the time frame we choose is super important. So what you want to do is to select a time frame that gives you a good view of the day's action. So I usually go for like the 1 hour chart, because this way you get enough details to make good decisions, but it's not like zoomed in like on a 5-minute chart that you miss the bigger picture. But if you feel like the 1 hour chart is a bit too stretched for your style, that's totally fine, because you can easily switch to a shorter time frame. So perhaps you may use the 30-minute time frame or even a 50-minute chart. If you did not expect me to say in the middle of the video, well, here I am, because I just want to tell you that in the last 2 weeks we haven't lost a single trade inside our VIP group. So if you want to follow my trades and actually learn how I read the market every single day to achieve this kind of success, then I recommend joining my signals, and I will leave everything in my description box down below. So for this strategy to actually work, it's very important that you wait patiently for that bullish crossover to occur, which means in this case we are looking for a buy trade when the 20 EMA crosses above 50 EMA. But now this is where it gets really interesting, because planning and having an A+ setup all the time, it's a bit wishful thinking, because as you probably know, the market can be unpredictable sometimes and throw us some false breakups. So we cannot rely solely on that EMA crossover, and that's why we need those 2 successful retests, is because it gives the market enough time to actually develop a trend. So let's actually take a look at the trade I took on 10th of January, and this is Euro Swiss on the 1 hour chart. So we can clearly see that the crossover was produced just over here. The exponential moving average of 20 is trending above the EME 50, and we can also see that the price retested exponential moving average of 20 twice. So we can see the first rejection just over here, and the second will be just here. But here's why I wouldn't enter the trade just yet. If I can take a look back and see where the price is standing at the moment, we can clearly see that this is a level of resistance, because clearly it failed to break it numerous times in the past. If I would jump in right now, I'm basically betting on the price just to break through this resistance zone without any real proof is going to happen. So at this point, what I actually want want to do is to play it smart and kind of wait out a bit to see if the price can really push past this resistance zone or if it's just going to bounce back down. So if I move forward, we have a nice break through the resistance zone. We can actually see a nice rejection of the exponential moving average. So if I would just expand like this would be an actual push, an exhaustion cycle completion. So what will potentially happen next is a continuation of the upward direction. Okay, so now we have enough evidence that the bullish momentum is strong and likely to continue pushing this market higher. So what we can do is to enter on this bullish engulfing candlestick closure. And as for your stop loss, ideally you want to be covered by both exponential moving averages. So I will go ahead and move it just like that. It seems a pretty reasonable place to place your stop loss. So we have got our entry and stop loss sorted, and now a very wise move would be just to have a strategic plan where to aim for your profit and where to exit your trades. And in this case, you basically have two options. So you can either use a fixed risk to reward ratio based on your risk management strategy, or you wait once the EMA 20 crosses below EMA 50, which would just basically indicate a potential reversal in the market trend. So usually when I swing trade, I use 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, but in this case I was using a 1-to-3 and I had my stop loss set at the 30 pips and I was aiming for a 90 pips take profit. So if I will go ahead and play the replay tool on, you will see how the trade played out nicely following this EMA crossover strategy. At this point, I thought that the market will actually turn around and produce a crossover, but as you can see, it never really did one. So I just never closed the trade and kept on going on. And as you can see, at some point, I did reach my take profit target of 90 pips. If I would turn off this replay tool, this trade is actually still live. So I locked my profits at 90 pips, but as you can see, this trade actually resulted in around 130 pips in the total profit. So now if you would be looking for a sell trade opportunity, you would basically reverse the roles I just explained for your buy. So you will be looking for a crossover where the exponential moving average of 20 crosses below EMA 50, and you would wait for those two more additional retests. So I can clearly see that the downtrend is already forming just over here. If I can grab the line tool properly, EMA crossover occurred just over here. So make this bubble, one rejection, second rejection, and you can enter on this closure just over here. Set your stop loss above the exponential moving averages, or once again, it depends on your risk management strategy, and you can aim to 1-to-3, 1-to-4. It's totally up to you, but that would be a great example just over here. You can see with that we nearly got stopped out, but that's okay because we have stop loss in a logical place. And as you can see, the trade was a beautiful one, 56 more pips, probably even more. Yeah. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you can apply this day trading strategy correctly, you can achieve a pretty high success win rate and potentially replicate the trades I just show you in this video. I honestly hate saying goodbyes by the end of each video, but if you want to watch more of my content because you find it helpful and interesting to watch, you can do it by clicking on this next video over here.